Well, I'm a little late, aren't I? I mean, how can't I be? Drag Race Down Under was low-key one of the worst seasons of Drag Race, and the edit that these certain queens got over, oh, I don't know, the winner of the season is abysmal. Drag Race, please do some better backup checks when casting queens, and also Drag Race, please start having only one filmed winner per season. That way, you can build a proper story. This video, like all of my Drag Race Down Under videos, is done without a script, so if it sounds like I'm rambling, yeah, I am, and I'm doing it without a script because it seemed like this season was completely unplanned, or at least very poorly planned. This of course is not on the queens, but on the production itself and its need to constantly earn money by doing more and more franchises and more seasons, basically forgetting the good old quality over quantity. What also did not help Down Under's poor reception with the fandom is, well, the fact that it was running alongside Drag Race España, which is a really good season, with its flaws, of course, but it's much better than Drag Race Down Under. And I think for like a week or so, maybe not, I can't remember, it ran alongside All-Star 6, which is a good season, surprisingly enough. I'll be honest, very surprised. I'm enjoying it so far. But yeah, let's talk about Drag Race Down Under, the rankings and all of that. This is the point system, you know that by now. And just by the way, I really won't be doing any videos on the season, like what if had been judged fairly, or what if anything had happened, because it's such a fuckery of a season. There really is no point in doing those videos. I mean, I could do what other people have done and just do it for the sake of pleasing the audience and getting some clicks, but I think I still have some integrity in me. Some, not much, but some. Let's begin with the ranking. In the last 10th place is, of course, the first eliminated queen of the season, JoJo Zaho, with 0 points and 0 points per episode score, of course. It feels like this season started like 4 years ago because I can't remember much about JoJo. What I do remember is that her message on the season about the Aboriginal people in Australia, well, I'm assuming also in New Zealand as well, but don't quote me on that, is something that's worth talking about, especially given certain other queens that are on the season and their actions, let's say that. But like RuPaul said, it just wasn't refined, which is very ironic for RuPaul to say, because most recent seasons have just been like, oh my god, representation guys, and like no substance to it, you know what I mean? But I liked JoJo Zaho from the little that we saw of her. Also, she's really cute out of drag, I just have to say it. The whole thing with Art returning, and we'll talk about it later, and neither JoJo or Coco getting the opportunity to also return, or at least compete to return, or be voted back into the competition. I don't know. I wish we could have seen at least Coco and JoJo fight to get back into the competition, or whatever. In the 9th place is Coco Jumbo, who, well, technically was the 3rd eliminated queen, but because Art Simone returned, Coco is now canonically 9th in the season, so she's in the same place where she is with the PP score rankings, and given her kind of poor track record of being low in the bottom 2 and then eliminated, her low score of 1 puts her here. I didn't really click with Coco. I mean, she's really beautiful, there's no denying that, but her confessionals kind of annoyed me, I'll be honest, because she would say something really mundane, like she would be like, and today we entered the workroom, and then she would like laugh for 5 seconds, and it's nothing funny happened. She said nothing funny, and she would just like laugh her ass off, and I would be like, but wait, what's happening? But because she had important placements in the episode, meaning, you know, bottom 2 in her case, we had to see a lot of her, and so like 10% of the episode would just be her laughing at nothing. It just didn't work. But again, very beautiful, stunning drag looks, a really good performer as well, not much else to say. In the 8th place is somebody who kind of surprised me because I did not expect much from her just from the first episode, but then I was proved wrong because Drag Race loves to hate on older queens, is Maxi Shield with 13 points and a 2.16, 6 is recurring, PP score. I loved Maxi. I knew that she was never going to win this season, not just like from her drag into competition, but also just with how she was edited. You could tell that she's a person that's had a lot of experiences in her life that made her so mature and sure of herself and everything, that when she was picked last in one of those episodes, I don't remember which one it was, she just did not care, because it doesn't matter. Who cares? Like, we need more of queens like Maxi, or queens with Maxi's attitude on the show. However, sadly, because of her not so stellar performance on the season, she is 2 placements below her original placement, which obviously is why we have a -2 here. And yeah, before somebody says something, yeah, I did not even care to like color in the equal signs with a yellow, the minuses with red, and the pluses with a green, because low effort, just like this season, low effort on this video. In the 7th place is my favorite queen of the season, etc, etc. Not for nothing, but first of all, the name. I was hoping that people would learn how to pronounce the words, etc. But no, I still hear people saying etc, or some variation of that, which just makes no sense. Like, there's no X there, guys. It's t. If you want to, you can just like combine those two and be like etc, like a z sound. Make just X, no X's, there's no X there. Guys, listen, hi, hello, etc. On this season, I really liked. I kind of did not get how she did not win Snatch Game. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe it's just because I did not get Anita's humor in that episode. Like, her humor was outrageous but subdued. Etc's was outrageous but over the top. But then at the same time, there is that sort of like don't want to say problematic, but just controversial choice of her Snatch Game character, who is a real person, who did have a tragedy happen to her. But not for nothing, we did see that etc. was, and probably still is, very socially conscious, her being the only one that stood up to Scarlett after her faux apology for her doing blackface and doing racist stuff and whatnot. In the 6th place is another queen that I really liked, Electra Shock. She was the underdog that I rooted for. I don't know about y'all, but I did root for her. Her story touched me. Her drag, yeah, maybe it's not the most polished thing ever, but it's still fun, and I like fun. Why not? It's also nice to see a queen with a classic talent or a skill. With her, it's dancing on Drag Race. Obviously, she wasn't much rewarded for it, but you know, it's nice to see it. Well done, Electra. Also, can I just say, in her last lip sync, well, in the lip sync that she was eliminated in, she absolutely won that lip sync against Kira. In the 5th place is Karen from Finance, whom we all know because of Trixie and Katya prior to this season, whom some, I mean, I'm assuming the people from outside, whatever, I don't know. Guys, listen, I don't have much thoughts on her, other than the fact that she looked like John Fieri. Nope, not John. What's his name? Guy Fieri. Wow. In her confessionals. Yeah, this is a mess. Let's continue. In the 4th place is Art Simone. Now listen, when she came back, I was kind of excited because I was like, oh, finally we have somebody who might win the season that we can kind of all agree is a good pick for the win. Because I'll be honest, guys, I still am really bored with Kira. I don't get it. I just don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But Art Simone, yeah, why was she brought back just like that on a whim? She could have been brought back through a vote, or through winning some sort of a lip sync or whatever. Yeah, a 3-way lip sync between her, Jojo, and Coco. Why not? I mean, she then probably wouldn't win it, but who cares? Just let's make it a little less obvious. Even with her being eliminated in one of the episodes, she still has a pretty nice PP score of 3. She competed in only 6 episodes, so that's why we divided her score by 6, not by 7. That's obvious, but I still have to say it because I know that there will be people who are confused by it. And, yeah, I don't know, Art Simone, yeah. In the 3rd place is somebody who I grew to love, but did not like at first, but grew to love, Anita Wigl'it. I mean, guys, come on. Like, she was the obvious winner of this season. She came in, like, with a really over-the-top attitude that I was like, oh, this is a fake thing that she's just putting on, and I never liked fake queens. But then it was obvious that, no, that's just how she is. She's just a ball of energy and really fun, and I like that. And then in her last episode, she was a little more subdued, which, okay, I'll be honest, did give me the idea that she was going to go home. But then I was like, okay, so they're going to bring her back, but they didn't do that. But even at her subdued, I was like, oh, she's really enjoyable. Yeah, I like Anita a lot. And I mean, guys, come on, like she's in the 3rd place and she was canonically 8th in the season. Like she has a +5 to her placement. Like, can you imagine who's going to be the biggest winner of the season? Guys, hello, hi, how are you doing? The 2nd place is the winner of the season, as with most first seasons of Drag Race, Kira Mean. Now listen, Kira, for me, again, never clicked. Never happened. I don't know if it ever would. I don't know. But that may just come from the fact that her edit was really abysmal. Like, she was gone for most of the episodes. Well, not literally, but like, she just wasn't present in most of the episodes, even when she was high, or even when she would win, she would just kind of be there. Like, she didn't have a story in the season. The only story, if you can even call it, is the fact that Anita, her business partner, and her friend got eliminated. Why is her story somebody else's story? Like, that makes no sense, guys. Like, you did a bad job with this season. Sadly, of course. But I don't think she cares. She won the season. She got the money. And she's going to be forever known for that. I mean, listen, out of that top 4, she is like the only person who could win it. Art Simone also could have won the season, but she did not have a good track record after her coming back. And with Karen and Scarlett, well, you all know the deal with that. And speaking of, Scarlett was here in the 1st place. Listen, yeah, a bad person. Objectively a bad person. But on the show, objectively a good competitor. There were some moments where I was like, well, should she have been that high? Who knows? But she had a good showing, and that shows in her track record, having one of the better track records and PP scores out of the entire franchise of the show. Her bottom 2 placement obviously did detour it a little bit, but I guess they kind of needed that, because it did seem like they were building up for a Scarlett win. Like, it did. With Ru talking to her, and with her saying her apology, as bullshit as it was, and with Ru saying that she hopes that, you know, people are going to grow from this, meaning like they're giving her the platform to grow. And then most of the rest of the episodes of the season were again around her, or written, well, not written, but edited around her mostly. So with her being in that bottom 2, that was kind of her one loss in the season, let's say that. I mean, even though her being fully exposed on national television that she is racist is also a low. But in the terms of the competition, you know, that was her one moment of weakness that most winners need. Not all, but most. And it's weird. She had a good story on the season. She had the best track record, but we could not have her be the winner. You know what I mean? Sadly, she does have the best BP score, so she's 1st here. Who's the biggest winner of the season? Anita Wigl'it, absolutely. I think you all know that. Who's the biggest loser? All of us. Literally all of us that watch this. But competition-wise, it's Maxi Shield. And she placed only 2 placements below her original placement. That's not a lot. So, yeah, those are the 2 queens. Guys, I'll be honest with y'all, I stopped writing the notes for the placements after like the 2nd episode because I was just so tired of this season. So here's the table. Pause the video if you want to watch. If you have any, you know, questions about it, message me on Instagram or email me. I don't use Twitter anymore. I don't think you should either. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the outro of the video. I can't be arsed to put any videos here because it doesn't matter. I don't care. Delete your social media. Your life's gonna get so much better. I've been at it since February. It's amazing. Trust me, do it.